And we are back, folks. Welcome back to the Mountain Dew League. We are getting ready for our second match of the day. It's another Team Spirit game, and based on how they looked on Dust 2, that hot start, should be some fireworks in this one. I'm still Darth Mike. This is still Dean Brownie. And we've got Movistar riders trying to take them down. How do you think the Spanish side is going to fare against this competition, Dean?
Yeah, the Spanish side feature in steel, so that's going to be an interesting one. I haven't actually seen them since they added steel.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Spirit, just because of how flat they look towards the end of Dust 2. Coming on to Inferno, of course, it is a different map, so you can't really say the exact same thing, but it did seem like they got off to a very good start, and then in the end kind of fell a little bit flat. Inferno, though, is another pretty good map here for Team Spirit. Movistar riders, they play it a lot, but statistically not amazing, so I am still a little bit worried for them. We have one player missing off of the server just as it was going live. It was Lowell. He has returned, so it doesn't look like we'll have too many issues anyway hopping on into this pistol round. But yeah, I want to say again, I think it'll be a close game. I said that about the last one. It did in the end. Shows that it was a close game, but just maybe not in the way that I expected it. It wasn't back and forth. It was one team at one point just controlling it and then it swapped over. Here we go. Spirit on that T side. I think this is where they could shine through.
We're going to need to see it for sure. That's an early nade damage on towards Chopper. That's a little less than ideal for him. It's going to be chunked down to 32 right off the bat without even having really seen anybody from the CT side. There's decent utility as well on towards this bomb site. You've got Mopaz with a smoke and a flash holding at bay, and then Steel to be the hammer behind him with the armor on, and they are going to need to be good for sure. Take utilities coming in from the T side. They'll throw what they've got. Here's a Molotov out. Smoke down. That is going to actually clear out Steel's position. Interesting that the smoke was devoted towards covering off the orange spot instead of covering off the site itself, and it's not really going to yield much. Mopaz is quick to follow him into the grave. This is a little bit of an interesting decision, just based in the way that they played those spots. They played those utility, and it really has not delivered. So now the Movistar riders trying to get back in with 3 against 5. Tough situation. At least they've got the kit, so if time gets a little bit low, they've got that in their back pocket to consider. But it is going to take somebody getting a bit of a heroic start here. They're going to need to find some early frags, and it's going to be Eastor to do so. Needs more, though. He'll have more, to be fair. Continuing to drop damage. It's eventually, though, going to be dropped back, and now this is just Lowell, who I think has basically given up hope of winning that round. So that is going to be the round 1 by Team Spirit. What do you think about that setup? Because I really, that was a bit of a head scratcher of a pistol setup for me. Just so passive back into the site, and then a molly comes in for Nubox, but the smoke is devoted to covering off the angle on orange as opposed to Nubox.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird pistol round altogether. Ended up working out for Team Spirit. Of course, unfortunately for Steel, he got destroyed right through the smoke. Mirror was running in. I think he shot like 1 or 2 bullets through the smoke and just instantly headshotted Steel. At that point, then Mopos was just under way too much pressure to even be able to do anything. I mean, maybe that passive setup could have worked out if they had the crossfire as the push came in, but utility going down from Team Spirit somehow worked out for them. Oh, nice shot by Alex. Rips the head off a Mirror over on Banana. Some damage early on was done towards Easter, but a man advantage being found is not a bad start for Movistar riders here on the force play.
Certainly not. Now here, where's the adjustment from Team Spirit? One of the things we saw from them on Dust 2 is they were really good at getting aggressive and winning the early engagement on their own T side. That was a big piece of what let them get out to that early lead. So this obviously not a promising start. And utility being used effectively to just slow them down a wee bit. There's still a minute to go, and they're throwing in their counter util, so it seems like they want to go through the smoke, which is maybe a bit of a bold choice against pistols. But we'll see if they can make it work. The flower pot boost is here. There's still a player in towards the orange boxes. That is going to be Alex catching a kill, but he's lost his teammate. He has lost the site as well. A bomb plant at the very least is going to come through, but damage through the smoke going to make this difficult. Disbounce now very vulnerable to the pistols, and 4 players coming back in. This could get a little bit frisky. Mac 10 retrieve for Steel, and now they'll continue to condense, and as soon as these smokes fade, I anticipate the take to come through. They won't even wait for that. Alex just peppering shots through. Gonna find a pick. This gets awkward indeed, but SDY, at least for now, is holding on to health, though. So low. They've just got to go for it. Movistar, they don't have a kit to fall back on. They've got to make this work, and Alex can't hang on. So it will be salvaged from Spirit, but that round was dangerous, to say the least.
Oh yeah, no, that was risky. I was really afraid, especially when Steel was coming in on that banana flank. As you said, the damage that had already been done. Fortunately, that smoke on the bomb site gave them a bit of time to compose themselves with the rifle, set themselves up. And with that now, will have to be the eco for Movistar riders. Only a few pistols really being afforded. A deagle for Alex. P250, or a couple P250s actually coming out onto Lel and Mopo, so they've still got a chance to do some damage. Having a smoke and then a flash as well, a little bit of a stack coming in towards mid, just entrusting Alex over on D to, well, try and get one kill maybe quickly on the Deagle and then drop the smoke and hopefully influence Team Spirit over towards A at that point. I think that kind of is the goal at the moment. But up against the rifles and a couple of MAC-10s, even if they do run into the stack, it's going to be quite difficult for Movistar Riders to deal with it unless that flash is perfect. Oh, and walking into B, Chopper should have an easy kill, jumping with the MAC-10, rips off the head of Alex, and with that, the B-bomb site being taken. And Magic's in mid is actually somehow able to pick up a couple of kills and escape. I don't think he'll live too much longer. Eventually goes down to Lowell, but that's only a MAC-10 they've lost, and they've already got the B-bomb site. The bomb on its way over now will be planted pretty easily.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is, you're not hoping for too much out of them. For the Movistar Riders, as you said, but honestly, the fact that Magic's in a complete crossfire, and a crossfire that was set up for exactly his play, still manages to get 2 before he falters, it's a little bit rough. I mean, 2 kills with a MAC-10 completely justifies its buy. You're actually making money on the weapon itself at that point, so tough situation. Spirit can get out of this relatively unscathed. They might just try and hunt up with the SMG. That's really the only gun that I can see justified in fighting this, purely to try and make the extra money, and because they won't really care if they lose it. Mira is going to catch a kill. Steel tries to get a bit aggressive instead. Lowell's just going to sit and hold his P250 and his single Molotov. And the Molotov, I mean, whatever. It's worth saving. It's worth having in the next round for sure. And it's one less thing that he'll need to buy. But it's not going to be a very effective round for the Movistar Riders. So now the buy can come out. And one of the things I'm going to be interested about, one of the things that's always interesting to me on Inferno in particular, is what the emphasis on the op is. So Easter will pick it up early on. They are going to purchase it up. Obviously more viable of a weapon on the CT side than the T side. Let's see where he plays with it. Looks like it's going to be the mid pick early on, if not the aggressive Halls pick in towards apartment. But he is going to be keeping that AWP over towards A.
Yeah, we can definitely move it around later on, maybe towards B at the initial beginning of the round, rather, just to get the banana control. But for the moment, happy enough to do so with just 2 players over there. And as you can see, pushed up into the apartments, it does seem like Team Spirit want a favor on towards this A bomb site. Already, they're pushed up on quad right now, so this is going to be dangerous. The flash is going to be going out, but Steel ready underneath quad to pounce after the op takes off a shot. Easter getting one, Steel doing the same before eventually going down. In the meantime, Easter just bailed away and fell back off to the bomb site because he didn't want to go down. So man advantage being found, but Chopper having creeped out long. Flash comes in, it's perfect. He still gets the kill on Alex. Not sure how he makes that one work, but they're going to go ahead and cut their losses at this point. It's 3-on-3 as they begin to sprint it back down mid and over towards B, where at the moment Mopos is the closest rotation with an MP9, and even then he's all the way over towards Arch. So this is going to be that B-bomb site fallen, rather. And I don't know if there's a lot Movistar will want to do about it. A retake is probably not worthwhile.
No, with the op, it's going to be difficult. Well, they do have a Molotov to devote into the angle. If Mopaz caught that kill, he's so close to it. Magic's now down to 1 health. That might tempt them into it because they know a player is low. They know Mopaz has dealt a little bit of blood, and that kill is just going to slow them down. So the plant comes in. There's a player out by the sandbags, but Easter are going to find that pick. That's massive. Here's the trades coming through. It's just going to be Magic's now, who's on 3 health, and what was looking to be a very difficult retake is kind of erased immediately off of Spirit, maybe getting a little bit hasty in their post-plant, or even really before the post-plant went down. And Magic's 3 health or not, does he realize there's still someone planting? He does indeed! He may have just won this! 2 bullets, 2 kills. Magic's precise here is going to have to get on the other side of the Molotov. Knows it, but on the side of the smoke, just barely had it. Lowell will get the defuse through, but he is the only survivor for his team, and Magic's making that one a nail-biter.
Yeah, even took his time with the second kill, killing the actual bomb defuser. That was an interesting one. Oof. I think he was waiting to see if anyone else was going to show themselves first, just because he wasn't too pressured to shoot at the guy with his back to him. But then again, of course, it was also getting a little bit close on the defuse, so it was a sweaty one. 3-1 though, Movistar Riders with a good recovery on the retake. Let's see if they can actually chain some rounds together now, because their buy is not amazing. Only living with 1 player. They end up with an MP9, a UMP, and a FAMAS. It's really Lowell and Easter to have the main weaponry. Utility-wise, at least it is pretty decent. That's one positive. So you can still make those kind of worse weapons work here on Inferno, especially with the close-range angles. Oh, that nade on the Easter, though, just loads of damage, then jump peeking out. Wow. Lines up 2 more players in the apartments. How the hell does that work? This is over. This round's done.
Yeah. Why? How? What? If you're Movistar Riders, you're wondering. He just came flying out of bedroom and killed everybody. Just annihilated this whole A-site defense.
He wasn't looking at 2 of them. If he got 2 initially and then turned around to kill one guy behind them, that'd make more sense. But that just shouldn't be happening.
Wow. SDY, what a round. What a round. I mean, it's such a ball buster of a round when you have to be basically saving 30 seconds into it, right? If you're Movistar, just the initial phase, the initial fight, you're like, all right, we lost. Pack it up, boys. Let's try again next time. Let's see if we can hang on to this FAMAS and MP9. This is what we're holding. This is what we've got. This is a really bitter pill to swallow, and I don't even know that they're going to be allowed to hang on to it. Molotovs can be devoted here. They're not going to bother with the utility, though. They're just going straight into it, and there's the first pick, but the panel player will stay alive, and that was the one rifle, so at least that survives. A single Molotov would have probably ruined his day, but they decide to hang on to their utility and just go for the raw picks instead, and it works out for Team Spirit. They are now 4-1. Everyone's surviving in that round. They've got a ton of money to work with. Bank building up. And meanwhile, you've got an eco out from Movistar, apart from this FAMAS and a CZ. It's pretty much going to be P250s and Dreams that Movistar are going to try and fight with here.
Yeah, this is probably not going to be around for Movistar Riders. That's the issue. Taking one round, immediately losing the next one, especially in a very dominant fashion, doesn't really give you much hope. Gonna have to be that 5-1 lead for Team Spirit as they get yet another good start here on Inferno. Not in this round, though. I mean, that's not how they would have wanted to have kicked it off. Magic's going down to the CZ early on. For the moment, at least, not taking that weapon in the apartments because they're not sure if there was any more players nearby. So Lyle just falling back, giving up the rifle. So still just the pistols and that one FAMAS. So it could definitely be recovered, of course, from Team Spirit. The question is, what are they going to do? A lot of the time when a team on the T side loses a player early on, they just group up over towards Banana and hit B. That seems to be kind of the standard approach. For the moment, though, that doesn't seem to be the goal of Team Spirit. Instead, approaching up through mid, where at the moment there's only 2 players. So this does seem to be the correct decision, a good read.
This is interesting. I like the gamble, right? Honestly, in this kind of a situation, almost favor the type of play where you have 4 players surround the one rifle and you just stack everybody on one site and say, look, either they hit this site and we have a chance to stop them, or they don't hit the site and we have a very good chance to save this one rifle to take it through to the next round. Because you're not... I mean, barring a very favorable situation, you're not going to win this. Now you've got a situation where you've got a 3-on-3. Actually, Steel getting a kill there does make this a little bit awkward, but still strong positioning, utility, bomb being planted, that balcony presence being cleared. But here's Alex with the FAMAS. He might just make a game of this. They are challenging at the very least, but Idiot's Bounce not going to allow that thought to enter their head for very long, not going to allow them to entertain it. Considering the buy, getting 3 kills is not a bad result by any measure. But the problem is, at this point, the bank is built so much for Team Spirit that even getting 3 kills on a round isn't necessarily too much of a hindrance to them. You can see Idiot's Bounce is still going to have 7k with the op in hand. So Mirror's above 6. They've got plenty of money to buy up. So that little bit of economic damage just doesn't yield you too much in terms of returns. I don't know. What do you think? What's your one rifle save mentality?
Just saving the one rifle. I mean, yeah, it's good, especially if you don't have anything working into the next round. Sometimes if it's a FAMAS or something along those lines and you can get the M4 in the next round, it might not be worthwhile, but when you're in a position here where the utility is very limited from Movistar Riders, that is definitely a nice little bonus if they're able to carry it over. 5-1 though, Movistar Riders, they need to start picking up some rounds right now, otherwise they could be in a tough spot. It's not really the same as what we've seen back on the previous map, of course, because Inferno is the CT-sided map, that's still a little bit closer. So being down 5-1, already giving up 5 rounds to Team Spirit on the T side, I'd say at this point, at most, they want to give up maybe 1 or 2 more. If they give up more than that, at that point, I don't think there'll be much chance for Movistar Riders to be happy with the half.
Oh, look at how much utility's already been bled out. You've only got 2 players who have anything. You've got a single smoke, a single HE that was just spent and found no damage as a result. You've got a flash and a smoke to work with here. A single kit. Otherwise, it's just going to come down to the gunning, and you've got to be perfect on the gunning. You've got to be perfect on the shots. There's the smoke out. So now 1 flashbang on Steel, and Steel is all the way over on A, so he's not going to be able to put that to any effect unless they're coming into a retake that has somehow survived. This is great play from Spirit. They can just bully with the util, and barring the flower pot spot getting a ton of damage, this is going to be pretty hopeless. Mopaz will get 1, but he's dancing around a very small pillar, and while he somehow gets a second kill out of that, he will quickly be dispatched. Now bomb can be planted. It is the post plant. There is not much utility for the T's either. They're going to dump their 1 single Molotov to slow this down, so it's just going to be a gunfight. mano a mano coming through the smokes, battling it out onto the site. That one flash has been committed. And now we go. Guns or nothing. No util to cover it off. And they're saving. Interesting to me. No kit, or a kit down on site, rather. Movistar just going to go ahead and punt on this round. Get out of it. They won't be able to drop for the 2 players unless they're dropping MP9s and FAMASs, I don't think. And
no, they can. They're getting full 3400.
Okay, so they'll be able to drop rifles, but the utility's going to be terrible again. This is interesting.
It should be pretty good on the 2 players who are dead, and then also one of the players who doesn't have to drop. So overall, it actually will be okay. We'll have to see exactly what way they work it out here. A bit of a discussion, I suppose, to be had. This is definitely the correct time for that tactical pause to come in. Being down 6-1, things are getting a little bit dire. But let's see what way they actually do split it up. As I said, the players who have to drop over, or rather, as you said, they'll definitely be a little bit weak on utility. Alex and Mopos, as long as they get dropped, the rifles will be able to get the full utility for themselves. They should get kits as well. Whoever isn't dropping over a rifle should get utility and be able to keep a little bit of money. So it should be pretty decent overall. The only issue is the goodbyes when they've had them so far. That even hasn't been working out for Movistar Riders too well. It's interesting. I wonder how the communication is working out exactly. I know a lot of Brazilians can speak some Spanish, and just a lot of people who speak Portuguese in general. So it'll be interesting, because I'd imagine Steel, one of the more experienced players, could perhaps be in-game leading, but the language barrier maybe could stop that from happening as well.
It's always tricky as well, even if you can speak Spanish, which I have no idea what his language situation is. Just that extra layer of having to communicate in another language slows your thought a little bit, or you're trying to form your thoughts, as it were, and that can create kind of like a barrier to IGLing. So it'll be interesting to see where that shakes out in time. Mirror is quite low. That's a vulnerability here for the Spirit side. He might be able to be plucked, and the utility is being used well from Movistar to at least push them back for the moment. But again, this is kind of a round where their backs are starting to get pushed against the wall a little bit, and they really do need to get a response. And Spirit, not feeling the pressure at all, just gonna methodically start to work their way in towards A. But this is beautiful. It's a 4-man setup towards the A bomb site. This is really well read by the Movistar Riders. They might be able to do a ton of damage, and Magix isn't clearing the Nook. He's going to get taken down. That looked a little bit more dangerous than it needed to be, and now the aggression from Steel comes back to find another frag. So this setup is working out very nicely. SDY will catch a pick, aided by Eastor of all people. But it is still a man advantage for the Movistars, and Mir is quite low. So it's a strong man advantage, I would say, and still control of Banana as well.
Yeah, you could sneeze on Mir at this point and you'd be gone. So it's probably going to come down to Idis Balance and Sumda Young. But I mean, that's a good thing for Team Spirit. The fact that they have Idis Balance alive, the fact that they have Sumda Young alive, 2 of the players who really do stand out for this team in terms of the fragging. So I wouldn't count them out. Apparently they can't jump, though. What the hell is going on here, guys? Sumda Young trying to boost Idis Balance up, and I think he was crouched. Idis Balance just couldn't jump on his head. I don't know. Maybe he's just a little bit shorter.
A few too many cakes today, you know? Feeling a little heavy.
That was just weird. It made them run out of time. I have no idea what was going on right there, man. Not gonna lie to you. 6-2, Movistar Riders will get themselves another round, and most importantly, keep 4 players alive while doing so. So it means they do at least have a good buy coming into this round to try and start chaining a bit together now. And that's what they need. They need to start picking up some momentum for themselves. Ideally, they want to remain in rounds of this half if they want to actually feel happy heading onto their own T side. 9-6, I feel like, is kind of the minimum as a CT to feel happy.
It's not going to be an easy round, though. It's not going to be an easy 9-6. There was so much money left over on the Team Spirit side, of course, after having won 6 in a row, or however many in a row. So they are just going to be continuing to buy in here, continuing to roll. Mir will get naded down quite low again. He's been taking a lot of hits from this early utility. Maybe time to find a new spot to hold on Banana in the early round, because that is now 2 rounds in a row where Mir is limping from the get-go. Still, again, it looks like they want to focus on this play through the mid-smoke, which is interesting to me because it was such a deadly crossfire last time against them. And this time, Eastor taking his best guess, going to find a little bit of damage. No kill yet. But that puts them on notice and is going to send them back out of mid. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that threat. They're kind of contained here. They don't really have any map control any which way apart from the player in towards Apartments Halls. And so they, with no information towards Banana, they're going to continue to pressure on towards A. That's an indicator. That's a strong indicator, and you're seeing the 4th player rotate in as a result. And once again, Movistar are really well set up for this take. They've got 4 bodies here. One player in towards the site, a player graveyard, and then a player back into the pit for what should be a really good trade scenario. There's the first pick for Lowell. Now they know where he is for sure. They still got to deal with him. It doesn't matter if you know if you can't hit the frag, but Magix is up to the task. Bomb planted, and just like that, the incredibly strong defense is vaporized.
Yeah, surprisingly, that looked very, very easy for Team Spirit. As you said, 4 players were ready to actually hold down that A bomb site, and they were just able to breeze their way in. Already the save has been called for over on the Movistar Riders side, and I mean, getting themselves the 2,900, I believe, now in this next round. They will still be able to maybe scrape together a buy. Mopos, unfortunately, won't be able to drop an M4. He'll be $100 short. Alex could drop one over. Easter can buy for himself, as can Lowell. So yeah, they'll be able to get a pretty good buy still. Mopo's just going to be left on that MP9, but he'll get a bit extra utility actually behind it. The only issue is they're letting more rounds go. 7 already here on the T side for Team Spirit, and they have still so many opportunities to just keep increasing that. It's definitely getting out of control right now for Movistar Riders. This is the issue. It's the best of one as well. So they need to start making it happen right now.
I think one of the issues as well is, I mean, you saw it in that round. They had the right read. They had the bodies on site. They had 4 players. They were so well set up for exactly the play that Team Spirit tried to make. They just still got dismantled. And that's really what's concerning to me, right? They had that 4-player on A setup work 2 rounds ago. That got them their second round. But you're starting to see the cracks form. Early presence towards B. They're just going to throw a million nades here to try and hold the T side back. The nades are being exchanged every which way. That HE might dunk. It does indeed from the heavens. Magix has been smited. His magic is over, at least for a round. And there's 2 players back in towards the site. But Team Spirit seem very stubborn. Once they've decided they want to take a site, they're pretty committed to it. They don't really rotate back off. And so they are going to go for the setup, and it's a pretty good CT defense. So Movistar have had a good read these last few rounds. It's just a question of whether this time they're going to be able to convert on that.
Yeah, as I said, normally when the T side loses a player, there's a pretty good chance they'll just group up and try and hit B. That's what they're going for. Unfortunately, looks like they will walk into a bit of a stack. Small bit of extra nade damage even being connected in the end there. Some also being returned on Lowell. At this point, though, Team Spirit, I think they may be reconsidering their options with only 50 seconds remaining. The issue is, having given up complete control of the A side of the map, they don't know if anyone could have got aggressive already. So going back isn't really a great option either. They'd have to spend some time clearing everything out. So they're just going to go ahead and commit in towards B. I'm going to smoke down towards that CT spawn. They do cut off one of the players. It's going to keep the Mopos and then also the player in the back of that bomb site to try and hold this down. But they're delaying so well with the utility.
Go. This is the execution of their setup. They've played it so nicely. Team Spirit has just kind of been funneled into it. Now 15 seconds on the clock. Idas Balance is trying to clear out his flank, and while he will catch that kill, it's nicely done. It's going to allow him to slip away and save the AWP, which is everything he wants to do. But there's, of course, not even a shout of taking this round. 4 players still up. Movistar, that's going to allow the bank to build very nicely. They can get Kriegs, they can get AKs. We've got the AWP as well. I mean, this is a bit of a lifeline for Movistar. And to me, the issue here is just that Spirit are not securing any map control after their initial phase, right? They're just moving all 5 towards one site. They're not necessarily going fast because the Molotov slowed them down enormously. But they're not leaving lurkers out. They're not waiting for the rotations. They're not catching any sort of aggression from Movistar. So by the time the hit comes in, they've really only got one choice to make. There are no options for them. And that's a little troubling.
Exactly. Normally on the D side, you'd take the control, maybe a banana early on, depending on if the CTs try and take it. If not, you'll go for it. You'll then focus a couple of players towards the apartments, then work in towards the mid brackets. And then you have the options of really taking it anywhere on the site, and also you restrict a lot of the info for the CT side. So that may actually force them to get aggressive to try and take it back, which you can capitalize on. At the moment, we need to focus on this round because Mopos is putting up a great defense over on this B bomb site. Barely takes any damage, claims 2 kills to his name, and forces Team Spirit to give up on their hopes of hitting that B bomb site, it seems. They've readjusted, and it looks like they will bring it over towards A fairly quickly. One player spotting from long with the up, instantly dropped by Idas Balance, and now a bit of an opening has been found here for the CIS team.
Okay. Here's the rotation, though. They're a little slow, oddly enough, off of finding this gap, off of finding the space to work with, and that allows Alex to get back in towards the library. There's still 2 players in towards the pit, and once again, Movistar on the CT side have a pretty good setup. But this is dangerous. Alex is anticipating the wrap from Arches, so he's not watching at all, and they're going to move in the library and just delete him. So Alex looking the wrong direction, just kind of tough to battle when your back is turned, and Mopaz now is probably going to get caught in the back as well. He's turned just in time. He will grab one and a second as well. Mopaz turning a rough situation into a potential win. Oh, I just about to move through. Realized he had to come back and get the bomb. Wants to make sure that fast flank isn't on. Instead, they're going to be coming from Banana. There might be enough time to get this bomb down if he drops the Molotov to secure it. He will. Nope, he was going to. They're already through. Timing is not there. 5 seconds. This round has been lost. Beautifully done from Movistar, despite losing some of the initial phases. Once again, Spirit just a little bit too slow to be able to capitalize. And this is now the 3rd round in a row where I Just Bounce has just been saving an op after time expires. Actually, yeah, 3rd round in a row because he's only died once.
I was about to say that he only has 1 death. Let's have a look at his ADR this time. It's 83, so although he was 14-1 in the last game with 160 ADR, this time 11-1, only 83. As you said, having to save a few times, so that's why he doesn't have as many deaths. But yeah, it looks like we're watching a Vanguard a bit more. It's been Jane time for his balance over these past few rounds. Sharing some qualities with their fellow CIS teams to find success. Let's see what the plan is right now. The buy's still available for Team Spirit, already having 7 rounds on this T side. If they can grind out even 1 or 2 more, they'll be in more than just a decent position. They'll be pretty happy with how that has gone. Going onto their CT side, especially then if they pick up the pistol, it could be very difficult for Movistar Riders to fight back in. So right now, the Spaniard's going to be looking to try and bring that up to 8 to find some sort of comfort heading into the second half.
The other key detail here is this is the end of I Just Bounce's saving rope, right? He had about 9k built up, and despite the fact that he's saved the OP trade, he has had to rebuy utility. I think he's dropped some guns for teammates, and at this point, there's no more opportunity to save. He is going to be out of cash. He won't be able to drop. He won't be able to have, well, he'll still have some utility, but I mean, he'll just have the op if he saves it through. Still, an early pick here is nice. Magic's being traded back, though, and once again, Team Spirit have just completely committed to their initial phase. They've got nobody to go back towards B, and at this point, Movistar have figured out the gambit. They're just putting everybody here after they detect the first bit of presence because they've seen that Team Spirit just will not rotate off. And so they are going to punish. They're going to find the kills. They're going to find the round. This is such a head-scratcher for me from Team Spirit. They are getting red purely because they are so stubborn they won't rotate. I don't get it. I don't understand. Just leave one player Banana. One player Banana. Do your little probe towards top mid, and if it doesn't work, leave.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that because it's just part of a standard default here on Inferno. So unless they're specifically trying to approach it a different way, then I don't know. But you'd imagine now that they'd probably change that and go to a normal default.
You hope.
Because, of course, it hasn't worked in a few rounds. So I don't know. The issue is right now they don't actually have enough money to buy. So when Eco probably comes in, that should be 6 for Movistar. Team Spirit, as I said, if they can get 1 or 2 more rounds, they will be in an amazing position. Even then, if they end it here on 7, it's not like they're going to be unhappy. They can still go into that CT side feeling pretty confident. Well, let's see, just a few pistols being upgraded. Let's see if Team Spirit try a bit of a different approach. I don't know. It's just standard to leave a player towards Banana while you look for the mid controller, to leave a player holding that A push while you look for the Banana control, just so you have options. You don't want to give up the rest of the map just to get control of one very specific area, because that's kind of counterintuitive. You're looking to get more map control, not trade it off.
Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. They've got presence in towards the apartments and presence on Banana. They can do both. They can do both at the same time, Dean. They figured it out. They've cracked the code. Of course, the question is...
That's cheating, man. How
right?
They know that.
Sometimes teams will do something in the pistol round that they wouldn't necessarily do on the gun round, so I need them to do it with rifles. That's what I need.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you see these pistol rounds working sometimes when you can't win out gun rounds. You'll see a team struggling to win a few gun rounds. They'll pull out pistols, they'll go for something wild, and it works. You just feel more confident. You don't feel like you have as much to lose, and you're playing to win, not to not lose. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is that going to be one of those rounds? Who knows? I mean, some D-goals. The CZ on Chopper, P250 from here. It's definitely possible for them to at least get a few kills, maybe a bomb plant here.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Movistar can't rotate everybody off because they've felt some presence towards A, but they've also seen some presence towards top Banana. So they're like, all right, what's going on here? Have they evolved? Have they learned? Have they figured out how this works? And there's no smoke available for this cross. If there was, this would be a really good setup for Spirit. But as it is, just all bodies facing, they might still win this. They take out the flower pot. There's the second player as well. That's 2 rifles retrieved. That's going to be a bomb plant going down. And Magic's now on the flank is being a nuisance. He's delaying them from rotating. He's doing the damage. Now it's a 5v2. And exactly what you were talking about. Playing to win, not playing to not lose. Spirit is almost certainly going to take through this round. I think this is a save. This is a save from Low and East, where the money is terrible for both those players. If they lose their lives, they will not be able to buy whatsoever. And so after all these rounds in a row where Movistar were bringing it back, reading the pressure from Spirit, Spirit just kind of goes to a little bit more of a default. They work the site with 4 players, and it works out beautifully.
Yeah, it works. They done it. They done what we said. They done it when they didn't even have the rifles, and it worked out for them. That did look like a much better round here from Team Spirit. Bringing it up to 8 now on the T side. They've already confirmed that they're going to have the lead as they head onto the CT side, so this is looking great for them. I mean, the only issue is they looked a little bit flat after getting off to a good start back on Dust 2 as well, so maybe Movistar Riders on that T side can get rolling. Maybe Team Spirit will struggle on the CT side yet again. But at the moment, one thing that does kind of look good to me is the fact that Team Spirit, they aren't relying as much on IDIS balance. It's more of a team effort.
That is a big piece. That is a big piece. And it makes sense as well, because that op is just a little trickier to get going on the T side. I honestly think we might see that switch back as we move into CT, but it'll be interesting to see. This time it's going to be an aggressive play. They are already so far forward. While the rotation will come through from Library, this is going to get rough indeed, but the flank out from Mopaz, he's all the way down Banana initially, and again, this is just a situation where they're moving 5 as a unit and not leaving anyone to secure the rotates. So this gets awkward. Mir, going to be annoying, going to find himself a kill on Steel. And continuing to just try and control this Arch position, but this is so dangerous all the way back. Mopaz has worked his way into the T-apps, and Chopper's coming back around from ult mid. Who's going to spot who? Oh, Chopper, right in his crosshair. Mopaz going to get this kill for free. Nicely done. That's the bomb drop. That's the round. Almost certainly out of hand here. And now this becomes a very tough situation. It's just going to be left to Mir to try and do some sort of damage and maybe make it so they have a less than perfect buy going into last round. Can't do that.
And the buy, not going to be amazing here for Team Spirit, but they can still salvage something. As you can see, Sunday Young and Mir having a good bit of money. They maybe could have brought out an op if they wanted, but as you said, the op here on the T side of Inferno can be quite difficult to get rolling, so probably a better option that they do just go with those rifles. A Galil, a Krieg, an AK, a Deagle, and a CZ. It's a nice little variety of weaponry. Let's see if it's actually going to amount to a round win for them. Right now, the CT side looking for that banana control. They know that when they've been able to actually restrict Team Spirit from getting that's where they do find most of their success, because they've just been funneling Team Spirit into where exactly they want them. At least in the rounds that they've been winning. When it's worked out, Easter right now over on Long, going to have a bit of an opportunity. Actually catches Sumda Young in the background. Mir jumping out, able to survive for the moment, but will he expect Steel up close into Cubby as well? Right now it's just a bit of a bait and switch setup. Will either of them clear it? Steel going to be able to get one before going down, but Alex is ready from the arch to pounce. So with that, a 4-on-2 now in play, it looks like Movistar Riders should be finding themselves this 7th round at the half-time. Unless Team Spirit can pull off a bit of a miracle here in the 2-on-4.
Look at this lurk around from low as well. He's going to be so well positioned if they somehow get out of the spot, but it's not even going to matter. Easter just knows where both players are, and it's just easy target practice. The 1-2 punch, now an 8-7. So good recovery from Movistar Riders, considering how one-sided it looked early on, and almost that was so reminiscent of what we saw from Spirit on Dust 2 as well, where they came out with sort of an unorthodox T side. They got off to a really hot start. They were hyper aggressive, just hitting the sites, moving as a unit, blocking it out. They did a ton of damage early on. They stacked up rounds early on, and then the pacing kind of got figured out, and it took a little bit of an adjustment for them to get anything else going, but still, it works. If you get this many rounds off your T side on a map where you're maybe not supposed to, then it's okay. 8-7 certainly very friendly as they move over to CT, but it's interesting to me that that was the kind of the exact same pacing to a less dramatic degree that we saw on Dust 2.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, as you said, the 8 rounds on the T side more than good enough for Team Spirit. It's just all about that grind. The fact that they were able to bring it up in the end to 8 rounds. Now on the CT side, though, you don't really want to see them trading rounds back and forth. That's when it gets awkward for them. So I do hope that we're going to see a little bit more consistency across the board from them. Of course, IDIS balance now that he's on the CT side, maybe he can get the op going a little bit more. But this pistol round is going to be quite important to see who's able to actually get that early momentum to kick off the second half. Target practice right there for Easter, having a little bit of fun in the warm-up.
Yeah, always good when you can hit with Deeks. He was doing great with the op earlier. It's going to be, again, as we were talking about with IDIS balance, it's going to be trickier on the T side to make that op work, but I'm expecting to see Idis Bounce be more of a focus player for them as they move to the half switch. I mean, he was ridiculous in the first game at 30 plus kills. By the end of it, just a massive contributor in terms of ADR as well as the pure frag numbers. So I think that for Spirit, I definitely favor Spirit in this situation purely because we're switching over. You've got that strong op that's going to be able to flex a little bit more. That's been very strong in general today. It's going to be a question whether Movistar, I think, have something creative. And also the question mark we were talking about in communication in terms of Steel as a new player who is not a native speaker of the Spanish language. What's going to happen? Are they going to slow down a little bit? Is that precise hit going to come through? Or is it almost easier on the T side where you can just call strat from the get-go, go for it, and maybe not have to mid-round as much as you do on the CT when you have to anticipate pressure and rotate?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the two teams play now on the opposite sides. I would imagine that Movistar, or rather Team Spirit, are probably going to be a little bit more aggressive on their CT side, and then Movistar probably not going to be playing as strange on their T side, where they were just going to split up split up, rather, where they were just always grouped up and giving up the map control. I would imagine that their approach is going to be a little bit more methodical. Hopefully we won't be waiting too long to hop into this. I'm sure the players just going for a quick toilet break. Spirit especially have been playing for quite a while, of course. That previous match went on for a fairly long time. I think it was like, it started a few minutes late, so I think it went on for like maybe 50 minutes or something. It looked like it was going to be a quick one for them, but in the end they kind of dragged out a little bit. And that can make you feel a bit tired. When you're in a position where you feel like the game should already be won and then it starts getting very close, it can be a little bit annoying.
We'll see, though. I think this is their last match of the day, I want to say. And here we go. It's starting, just as we were wondering. It's always a little concerning when you see that long halftime break. You're like, all right, did someone have a computer issue? Someone disconnecting? What's going on here? But, as you said, likely just the bathroom break or a snack or something that they might have wanted to do.
Cup of water.
Cup of water.
You need to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, kids.
Do you have that hydration
Stay in
bot?
school as well. Nah.
Have you seen that?
I just drink some water. What does it like track how much you drink?
Streamers will have a hydration bot that tells them how much water they should be drinking over the course of their stream. Nice picks early on for Chopper. He's so low, but able to get away. Actually, quite trickily. I thought he was for sure dead there.
Yeah, I have no idea how he managed to survive that one, honestly. Having the T's down in Vietnam just shoulder peeking and spamming, he was down 3 health for quite a while. Somehow able to fall away. That was ridiculous. Nice little man advantage for Team Spirit to kick this round off. Not going to be complaining. The boost coming in towards CT on B should be a decent setup. The only issue is the player that boosted him up isn't able to cross over before they come in, so it's going to be up to Chopper to try and actually find something off of this boost, the quick headshot, and he fades away. 5-on-3. Now they can just play for this retake. They have a smoke. They have the defuse kit. As long as they trade out efficiently, this should be their pistol round.
Chopper is so elusive in this round. This is usually the round where, you know, when you're in that flower pot spot, even if you have full health, you usually get traded. It's a 1 or 2 and done. But he has 3 health and somehow gets the kill and is already fading away through smoke, so they can't find him. This is a very tricky hold now for the Movistar Riders, and they're losing bodies left, right, and center. It's all going to be left to Lowell, who will find one, but again is taken down by Chopper. The man with 3 health from the beginning of the round is also going to emerge with 3 kills. That is beautifully done from Chopper and the pistol, and is going to be Spirit maintaining their lead and growing on it. And that, I mean, that really comes down to how elusive Chopper was that whole round long.
Yeah, I don't know how, especially being up on the boost. The fact
right?
Normally you can get 1 kill, but at the very least you take a bit of damage while falling back down and then try to spam on the smoke as well. He didn't get hit at all, is able to reposition and just continue fragging to win the round for Team Spirit. I don't know how that one worked out for him. But yeah, Chopper definitely a very capable fragger up there alongside Idis Balance. And of course, Mir, I mean, his potential is insane. I don't think he's been playing as well for Team Spirit as he did back in the day for Vegas Squadron, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get back into form soon. I mean, he still plays very good. It just looked like he was a super hard carry. I guess also being surrounded by the likes of Idis Balance and Chopper makes that a little bit harder. Right now, the force buy coming in from Movistar Riders. This is the issue when you're on the T side. If you get that bomb down, you can get a better buy than the CTs. Right now, they have 3 rifles to work with. There's 3 MP9s then over on the CT side and just 2 M4s. So this could be dangerous. The Deagle actually opens things up on Banana.
That's a lovely bait and switch setup. That's you love when teams have the pacing on that, right? Basically, the rifle takes the first fight, but they've seen the rifle. They know it's slightly too far away to really chase them down, so they're trying to drop the smoke to hold on to it longer. Well, you've got the close Deagle who's going to swing and who's going to find the kill instead. Idis Bounce will bring it back. So numbers advantage not available, but still it was a trade of a deagle for a rifle, and they're fine with that as far as they're concerned. Easter continuing to do damage. Itis bounce gets dug out. Easter now 2 big frags on the round to basically single-handedly open this up. STY might have a bit of a tricky spot, and he will indeed turn it into a kill back. But that is the A bomb site fallen, almost certainly a bomb plant. And though Esea Young is going to try and contest it, going to try and make some noise, there's just too many smokes in his face for him to be able to do so. And at this point, it's going to be a save. Interesting. Conservative call here. But they are going to get out of there with the M1. Maybe retrieve a second rifle towards B. I don't know if one's available for Mir to upgrade, but that is going to be the round 1 for Movistar. The Krieg strikes again. This is, I'm sure you're privy to all the conversations, debates that are going on about whether it's the Krieg that's really to blame or the new economy that's to blame. But you do just see so many of these second round T-side rounds won, even if you lose the bomb plant. It's just, it really has completely changed the logic of the game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because for losing that first round, you can get $2,700 if you get the bomb down on top of whatever kills you found. Then the bomb plant bonus as well. There's points where I'll have like $3,400 after losing the first round. My teammates all have like $2,700, and they're like, okay, we can drop over a couple of rifles. I'm able to buy an AK and body armor for myself, and then you have a better buy, as I said, than the CT side. It's just, it's not really how it should be. Overall, the new economy, getting the extra gun rounds in there is good, but it just seems like the CTs at points can be punished for actually winning the pistol round, because either you can take a bit of a gamble, you go for the 3 MP9s to have a chance to build up money, or else you go for all rifles and then you don't really have a lot of utility. Somewhat young though, with the 1 M4 they actually have in play, great spray control over towards Banana, and also the full control being locked off for them, allowing for the rifles to actually be retrieved. At least one of them anyway.
Now look at this flank. Oh, the smoke. That's actually going to save their life. The mid smoke, ironically, I think came from the CT side and saves them from the Krieg, because that flank would have been massive out from Chopper. As it is, he's still going to be beating his way forward. He's going to be compressing them in towards it. There are 4 players here to defend, so this is a tough spot. This is a tough hold. And SDY, once again, going to be taking that single rifle, putting it to great effect, and it's the dualies of all guns to take the last. Dualies are king here. So the force buy, 1 back from Spirit. They overcome the difficulty of Movistar Riders taking a kill off of the Krieg buy, or taking a round off of the Krieg buy, and they get right back into the action. That's really nicely done from Spirit.
Yeah, they must have been angry after losing that one. Like, guys, we cannot let that happen. Let's get right back into this. It never happened. As you can see, though, the force spike comes back from Movistar Riders. This time, they do not have as much money because that loss bonus, of course, getting reset back down to the initial amount, not having the elevated 1900 just for losing the first round. 3 Deagle to CZ and MP5. I mean, a decent amount of utility, all things considered. But this time around, Team Spirit, they have 4 rifles, only that 1 MP9. They have the control being taken early on using their utility. This one should be a little bit easier for them. But there's always the chance of that upset. Movistar Riders right now moving in towards that mid area to try and find control. Only really Magix, who's somewhat aggressive to try and hold it down, so he might want to be careful. He's going to be backing off. There's now 3 of them over on long, actually.
Magix, nice early pick, and there's just no chance to do any damage back. He just pokes out, gets the kill, pokes back. Beautifully done. He's going to go for a second. Double dipping. Magic's just a hungry player here. Fragging out. Has to be a little bit careful. There is still an SMG in play that they've got to contend with, but Magic's just so good at just poking and prodding with that Krieg and turning each poke into a frag. It's all going to be left to Lowell, who might be able to make a little bit money back with that SMG, but his position is known. His bomb is dropped. He is largely surrounded. There's even a flank coming down Banana here, so it really does just feel like a matter of time here. And Lowell just going to try and convert some sort of damage. Will find a kill and a rifle off the back of it. Question is just, does he want to stay alive with this? He's got a full belt of utility, would certainly be nice, actually. But he's not going to have that option. Chopper has him. The late flank, the slow, patient play through T-Ap's going to secure the rifle away from him, sneak it out of his grasp, and now there's a 3-round lead for Team Spirit and an eco that's going to come out from Movistar, where they will probably be investing nothing. Lowell maybe buys a smoke or a flash, but otherwise they really should commit no money to this whatsoever.
Yeah, only going to be getting themselves the $2,400 coming into the next round, so that really is the only option if they want to actually have some utility coming into play as well. Even then, without a bomb plant, Easter's not going to get an op. I mean, that's not the end of the world, considering it would be glass cannon anyway. Of course, Inferno, a difficult map to make the op work on, especially when you're glass cannon with the amount of utility that gets thrown out early on by the CT side. And just in general then, as you're trying to get into those choke points, so it wouldn't be a good idea. But for this one flash right now being bought up, maybe a bit of a quicker play in mind. Actually, a second flash and then a P250 as well. So this is probably just going to be a rush. They're going to try and maybe catch a player off guard, steal away a rifle, and hope to be able to actually spiral the CTs out of control from that point. But not going to be easy. I wouldn't expect really too much to be found.
Let's see what Mir's got here. MP9, there's one. Looking for more. Try and make that money here. Here's where you build that bank, and Mir's doing exactly that. Has Chopper for support, and this early attempt for the Movistar is really their only attempt of getting anything going in this round, where they are so low to begin with. Not going to work out. Mir will take 3 in total on the round. That's a nice $1,800 in the pocket. Chopper chiming in with 2 of his own, so nicely done from Spirit. They see through that round with absolutely no casualties, which is exactly what you're hoping for from them. Just take no blemishes, take no dings to the economy, keep everything growing and healthy. And that's exactly what they do. Movistar now going to have the rifles. Utility's not perfect. They don't have the AWP, which we know is good for Easter. They've got the one Krieg, which is interesting to me that they're only investing into one of the most overpowered gun in the game at the moment. But it is going to be Alex to get a pick early on with the AK. He is traded out, but that's the opt-down for Idas Bounce, and we know how powerful a presence he could be, so that's a nice pick to find early.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do want to say about the Krieg here on Inferno is a lot of the time you can be better off with the AK, because it's better when you're pushing forward and you're actually on the move, especially entering through such close range angles. So, I mean, it's not too big of a deal that they only have the one Krieg, because you can kind of leave that in the background then to pick off the stragglers who are trying to peek out. But at the moment, the 4-on-4, 1-for-1 trade initially over towards Banana. Lowell going to catch that aggression through the apartments. There is one more player pushed up. That's Magix. And he actually is going to be able to return the frag from the bedroom. A little bit interesting that Lowell was willing to just swing out through that door right there. Not know if there actually could be a second player pushed up at all. The up over on B will again pick up a return though. So the advantage being rebound for the CT side.
This gets kind of awkward. Mopaz and Easter, their position completely known. They're trying to rotate off of this late. They've only got 45 seconds to play with, and they've got no information towards A. So if they do choose to go that direction, it would be a slow and steady process. But it was kind of a fake of the rotate. I'm not sure whether they were heard. They were certainly trying to be heard, moving back. And that's going to drag the second player over towards A instead. So everything's going to be left to Chopper. He does have the AWP. And no, that's a missed shot. Big missed shot for Chopper. Huge opportunity would have been to put the nail in the coffin of this round. Instead, they're going to put the bomb in the coffin. And this is going to get a little bit frisky. Finding the player towards Banana. Now both remaining CTs are desperately low. Magix and Chomp are both about a bullet away from death. And you already see Magix starting to get out of there for the save. So this is going to be a round 1 for the Movistars. They're not keeping much alive in terms of presence, but it's enough. Round wins at this point are enough. They need to stay alive. They need to stay fighting in this game. And they will tack another one on the board.
Yeah, understandable they saved considering they were so low on health. Unfortunate that they are so low, otherwise they probably could have stuck around and at least tried to get a bit of damage done, considering they, of course, have quite a bit of money in the bank. But either way, only 2 players surviving from Movistar Riders means they do have to drop over to the majority. 3 players, not really going to have too much money. Steel definitely needs a drop. Alex and Lowell, one of them going to have to buy for themselves, meaning they won't really be able to get much utility. So the buy here on the T side, they should be able to find all the rifles, but it's not going to be amazing. So there is still the opportunity for Team Spirit to try and actually come right back into this when they're able to buy back up pretty easily. Idas Balance actually getting the up dropped over to him, I think. May have just bought it up for himself. Either way, though, still having the full buy here in the end, they will. Someday Young can also buy for himself. I'd maybe like to see him getting dropped over by Magix or something, just so he can keep a little bit of extra money in the bank, just in case they do end up losing this round here as well, so that maybe they'll have it a little bit more evenly spread out.
Ah, they did exactly what you're talking about.
You like to see it. Just the safer. I know he can buy for himself, but as you can see, they have pretty much the exact same money now after both players get the full buy.
That was, he just felt a little tickle on the back of his neck when you were talking about him. Magix was like, you know what, I should buy for you.
Trolling them like a voodoo doll.
There you go. Keep the pins out,
Mopos. He is he's causing some trouble over on Banana right now. 2 kills being found without really much of a fight being put up from Team Spirit. I mean, there was 2 players, a third back on the corner, who I believe attempted to try and flash in. Unfortunately, didn't really work out, and a very early two-man advantage right now for Movistar Riders. They don't have to force any issues at the moment. It's going to be Team Spirit who will either look to take a bit of a gamble or else push aggressively somewhere on the map. And it does seem like the gamble's going to be coming in. All three players right now actually rotating over towards B. And in the meantime, it seems like Movistar Riders are slowly inching their way back down Banana and potentially towards that open A bomb site.
It's interesting
Looking
to
like
me.
Christmas.
They just took the time to carefully stash the AWP, make sure that it couldn't be found, but you still got Alex on a UMP. So
that's a little bit weird, especially with Easter low. Maybe Easter could have given over the rifle to Alex and then taken the op for himself. Maybe they just don't want that on the T side of Inferno. You don't really need it, to be honest. It can be a bit of a hindrance at points.
That's fair, especially if you want to play this sort of fast flash around angle style. The A bomb site's completely abandoned. Oh no. Oh, is this a misread for the Movistars? The stack has come towards B, but look at this misread. They take control towards A, and they mistakenly think that that means they're passive back towards the pit. They are going to be able to sneak Alex back through CT, so this should be a very powerful flank indeed, but with 20 seconds on the clock, they are 100% committed to this. They're going to be moving into all three of the CT presence. It doesn't matter, though. Alex with the UMP is going to kill everybody from range, and now it's just Magic. He's got to get a hero play going, and he'll immediately get called out. He will take one, to be fair, but immediately traded, and that is a beautiful use of the UMP. A couple nice kills to build the bank, upgrade to a rifle, and Movistar move on to 10.
Yeah, showing us what they're capable of on this T side right now. Team Spirit able to again scrape together a buy. Does Chopper have a weapon on the ground? Yeah, he has an MP9 now. So it's a pretty solid investment. They're able to get the utility again, which is probably the most important part of the buy, apart from, of course, actually having weapons. Especially here on Inferno, one of the maps where those choke points, you can hold them off so easy if you're able to use that utility efficiently. And, of course, if you don't have utility, you cannot do that. Let's see what the plan is. The D side early on just going for a pretty standard default. A couple players looking to try and work over towards the apartments, leaving Easter then to hold for any potential mid aggression or mid peaks that may come in, and initially holding at the ramp, of course. And then two players getting ready to try and work up through Banana. And at the moment, Team Spirit not really looking to try and actually contest Banana control itself, just throwing in a bit of utility, seeing if they can maybe connect some damage.
A little bit of poke and a prod towards the top 8. Just feeling them out, and this is just, it's such a difference from what we saw from the Team Spirit T side, right? One of the things we were criticizing them for was their inability to control two sections of the map at once. Well, here's exactly what you want. You work up with 3 players, you get Mopuz towards top mid, and you just leave him there. He's your insurance. He's going to catch rotations if it comes to that. He's going to give you the ability to get back towards A, or towards B if you want to, like you're doing here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, you leave Lowell in towards apartments, you work top mid, with your 3 players to make sure that there was nobody there, that they couldn't get any early information, and you keep the rotation. So this is nicely done. This is a very effective T side, very good understanding of how to control presence on towards Inferno. So now you're moving into a site with just Mir and Chopper on an MP9. Mir will be up to the task. He finds the first. Now the mollies are in, but none of them were committed to Mir's position. So he's got a firing squad he can go through. It is traded. 2 kills to his name, but unfortunately no more available for that CT defense. Now bomb will be planted. You're going to have a retake situation where they've got flashes, they've got smokes, they can get back through, and without a player secured over towards Banana, it is going to be a bit tricky, but they can get into their spots, they can hold pretty conservatively. And time is already starting to tick away, so Team Spirit need to get a move on. They are going for it. They are going to commit for it, but there's a ton of information for Easter. As they come around the corner, he's going to find one, and the second as well, and that's the round 1. I disbounce, can't even get away, just trying to save the AWP. He will catch a bullet to the back of the dome. There is no retreat here. No surrender. Movistar, 1 away from tying this up, and it's going to be against an eco.
The fact that Movistar Riders are making this comeback happen while Steel has 12 ADR is pretty ridiculous. I know he doesn't have 12 ADR overall, but at least on this half so far, and overall he does only have 5 kills and then 4 assists. He's gone 520 right now. He has 5 deaths more than the person who was the second most deaths on his team. That is pretty ridiculous. I'm not too sure what's going on with him right now. Maybe that language barrier could be coming in a little bit of extra thought having to be put into the communication rather than just playing his game. But for the moment, Team Spirit on an eco, so maybe this is his chance to try and get a couple of kills, start building up that confidence for himself. It should be 12-12 before the guns are actually available again here for Team Spirit. And I don't know if I was expecting that after Team Spirit having such a good T side. It's again looking like Dust 2. They're just falling flat here on the CT.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question of, again, hot starts in the half, and then they get figured out. Spirit seemed like they were going to be good. There was the one second round Krieg round that was won by Movistar, but then Spirit immediately came back. They seem to have the response. They seem to have it figured out. But they're sort of a one-trick pony. As soon as their first timing and presence and move gets felt out by Movistar, the adjustment comes in, and we see it become a very tough situation. So Spirit now, just with the pistols, they are going to stack in towards the A-bomb site. And to be fair, this does seem to be the correct read, because Movistar, having not flinched at all from this top mid position, definitely do seem like they want to head this way. But it is a wrap towards Arch, and deleting the first player, finding the second as well. It won't matter how many you stack if they've just got pistols, if that's all they have to contest with. Now in towards the pit. It's going to be left to Magix to maybe make a little bit of Magix happen. And he's being shot in the back, so that's not going to happen for sure. Chopper, you don't fancy his chances to even really take a kill here. He will do so. So that's a nice little ribbon in his lapel, but it is tied up, all tied up. Another gun round will come through from Spirit, but it's not going to be perfect, and all their bank is gone. They're going to be fully invested into trying to make a game of it here, and if not, we may see Movistar just start to run away with this right at the end.
I mean, they've kind of started to run away with it over these past few rounds in general. It's been looking pretty good for them. I mean, their money hasn't built up into the most amazing position, so losing a couple of rounds could put them down onto an eco. So ideally, they don't want to start losing them right now, but they've just looked so good. It seems like they have a good way to approach the rounds, and so far Team Spirit haven't been able to do much about it. Even when they get a good read on that CT side, Movistar Riders are just winning out the aim battles, and they're trading much more efficiently. Right now, the banana control is going to be coming in for Team Spirit, trying to actually cut off Movistar Riders from having as many decisions as they'd like. But Mopos wants nothing to do with that. He's saying, oh, you want banana control? Well, you're going to have to fight for it. I mean, that was a risky play to come through the smoke, but it works out. They actually force Team Spirit back off onto that bomb site.
Looks like they're going to go for the flower pot boost as well, again, which we've seen really mixed results for them out of this position. It's been a little bit tricky. Chopper has done some wizardry from the spot, particularly in the pistol round, as I recall, but it's been a while. It's been a while since then. Bomb's going to be picked up. Looks like they do want to pressure towards A, although this could be the crunch on towards B as well, since they've worked 2 players into the arches. It's going to come down to Mirror, who does have control of the library. If he swings back in time, there's the spot, there's the information, but does he anticipate the second player who's about to push him? He does not indeed. Steel will catch a kill. That is a big piece to find out. The rotation has been drawn, but I think that's going to be figured out. They've got a player pushing top banana. And while Alex may lose his life here, they're promptly going to realize nobody's home on B. Alex is stalling beautifully, and that allows Mopaz to come in as the hammer, and that is wonderfully done from Alex, just to stay alive in that spot, get a kill, and then allow his teammate to get the last kill as well. Now iDisbounce once again in a situation where he's just got to save, and despite the fact that Movistar let that clock run down, they will get the bomb plant, they will certainly get the round win, and they have a very good shot of even taking this op out of the hands of Spirit.
I don't know what's up with Team Spirit today. They're getting such great starts in these matches and then just starting to fall flat in the second half. Their CT side especially has been abysmal. Never really managing to chain much together for themselves. iDisbalance right now, his only goal being rather to carry this up over into the next round, and he's completely surrounded. Actually finds the second on the Mopos, giving himself an opportunity, but Easter up on top of the balcony will be able to take him down as he steps out of the apartments. 13-12, a bit of a teabag even coming in. Movistar Riders happy with his comeback that they are making happen. And it's going to have to be an eco again from Team Spirit. So 14-12 is the likely scoreline here before Team Spirit get back on the rifles. They've looked so flat, and they're about to be in a position where they can't really have any mistakes on the rest of the CT side if they want to get that win. I don't know. I feel like Movistar Riders have this one right now. They're looking unstoppable.
Yeah, it really is a situation where Spirit just seem like they've been read through this point, that they're being directed. We were talking about it when they were playing on Dust 2, where they were having their opponents dance to their own fiddle. Well, this time the fiddle's been taken out of their hands. It's changed from a polka to a fast jazz beat, and they are completely lost and confused as to what's going on. Movistar are just rolling through them. I guess, you know, if it's Movistar, it should be a salsa that we've changed the music to, but they're looking flat-footed on the dance floor, and meanwhile, Movistar are just rolling at this point. And again, they're going to move aggressively. They're going to take some control towards Banana. At this point, there's nothing to even contest with. They've only got the pistols, so they can't even go for this initial dance number over towards the top of Banana that we've been seeing in multiple rounds. They just got to give it up right off the bat. Looks like they might go for either a flower pot boost or just 2 players in towards the CT side of the site. But early on, this is looking dire for Spirit, and they're just not going to get too many more chances to make a game of this.
No, they really are not going to. This next gun round is going to be pretty much their last opportunity to actually keep themselves in this map right now. Being on the CT side, it does still give you a bit of hope maybe that they can get it going, but it just hasn't been the case so far. Already the banana control being taken from Movistar Riders. This time not going to bother with much over towards the A side of the map, and it looks like they're making the correct decision yet again, because right now it is only Chopper on this B bomb site. That mid stack coming in from the CT side, unfortunately, not looking like it's going to work out. Chopper will be able to fall back through the smoke at the very least, so doesn't go down, but he will likely just have to give that bomb site up as the bomb will get planted, and there's not really much that can be done here on a retake from Team Spirit. I guess maybe they can try and just steal a few rifles away, see if they can get a couple of kills quickly. Maybe that'll give them an opening to push in for it, but they don't have a defuse because at the time is definitely going to work against them. And it seems like already the save is just being called for. Having that utility, it definitely, not utility, rather, that Kevlar, it definitely is understandable.
That's interesting to me. I was thinking maybe a death ball on towards Banana, catch a couple of rifles and get out of it. But they're just going to say, you know what, 650? 650 is 650. We'll stay alive. Mir's got a full 1,000 invested. He's got the head armor as well. You got the smoke on Magics. It's enough money that it's worth saving for them. So they will take the conservative call here, which is not a bad idea. At this point, you're not going to do any damage to the economy of Movistar. They're A-okay. You can take a couple kills out, and they will just keep rolling through. So you give yourselves the absolute best shot at taking through another round. Chopper, interestingly, is going to die to bomb. So that's 650 out of their pocket, unnecessarily. But, hey, I guess they had to offer some sacrifice to the bomb gods. And now, you get really their last chance. This is it. All or nothing. After this round, they're going to be on SMGs to try and battle for overtime. It's going to be a complete shot in the dark type of round. But this is their last real chance. iDisbounce has the AWP, wants to get aggressive, wants to take that mid pick right off the bat, but again, it's going to be that early contest for the top of Banana. Mir is now committed. They know he's over by the sandbags, but he goes high, and the flashes are good from his teammate to allow a kill. Well, he will be traded out. Chopper is still around, and Chopper is still making an absolute nuisance of himself. And while his only cover is really a smoke, and there's tons of utility sailing in to take his position back from him, he is still stuck around. Chopper dug out by Steel, who actually turns it into a 2 for taking Magics to begin with, and now a numbers advantage available, and a site completely open and ripe for the taking. This is a dire situation for Team Spirit, and Movistar, they've done this so quickly, they've done this in the first 40 seconds, they can just hit the brakes, slow down, and see if they can't just roll into a round win.
Yeah, the Steel right now is actually stepping it up a bit, has doubled his kills in the past few rounds. Those two great openings over on Banana. That flash was just perfect. The player trying to cross in from CT got a little bit unfortunate. Right now, though, as you can see, two players waiting on Banana, but in the meantime, Lowell is actually pressuring over towards the apartments, and I think he's going to realize A is clear pretty soon. As I say that, though, a kill over on B may influence them to still commit, and it's somebody young who's going to be waiting over towards the coffins, peeks out, spots the bomb carrier, and Nade going in could finish off Alex if he's not careful, but fortunately, it won't actually connect any damage. But now they need to wait for Lowell to rotate over because Alex cannot actually risk taking this fight on his own. Doesn't want to drop it to the 1v1. And as you can see, being cautious of the CT spawn, Sumda Young has a bit of an idea about what could be happening. Spotted and dropped the 14 health, but they just need to commit at this point. There's only 10 seconds remaining, and there it is. The kill comes in the end. Movistar Rider is going to be bringing themselves up to map point. Team Spirit not able to get it done. I mean, the money's a little bit better than I thought it would be. They should be able to find a few rifles at least, but even with the full investment so far on the CT side, rather, Team Spirit just haven't been able to get it done. So I don't have a lot of faith. We see a P90 coming out. That probably indicates a bit of desperation. You don't see that very often.
No, not very often at all. That's going to be interesting, as opposed to the, I mean, even the FAMAS here. But I think this might speak to Chopper playing a little bit aggressive. Here's why. He's going to be the sole B-side anchor. He needs a lot of bullets. If they rush him, he needs a lot of bullets. So he's going to go for the high-capacity P90 as opposed to anything else. And his teammates are going to go ahead and gamble stack towards A. But we've seen a predilection from Movistar to want to contest for top banana early on and to sort of dictate what they do in the rest of the round based on how they go about securing this map control over towards B. So if you've just got Chopper and they realize he's just got a P90 and they find this kill early on, I think they're just going to take B and this round's going to be over.
Yeah, he was trying to save the smoke he had for as long as possible. I think his goal was kind of save that until they are just ready to commit, drop it, and then you have a P90 waiting on the other side of a smoke. But he ended up getting pressured a bit too much and had to drop that down as the risk not, of course, falling and just leaving the bomb site completely open. But right now they are indeed beginning to group up over towards Banana, so it seems like he is going to be tested on that P90 sooner or later. at the moment, just chilling around the fountain. Probably not the greatest of positions to play it from, but a man advantage has been found. They're able to pick up one over towards mid. Mopo's in the meantime opening up the B-bomb site. This is going to have to be a 4 versus 4 retake from Team Spirit. Movistar Riders still taking their time, of course, not realizing the bomb site is completely open, but they do now. Bomb getting planted. It's that quick rotation on Banana that could potentially catch them off guard. Easter checking for it, manages to find one before going down. It's just trading back and forth at this point.
This is so tough. The attempted retake coming out, but such strong post-plant positioning. Now 2 flashes to work with. They're going to be able to toss those through. That's Magic's. And trying to go for the boost up. And again, the trades just back and forth, but no one's peeking for those flashes to really catch off. Sunday Young trying to get aggressive into the angle. He will be able to do so. It's all going to be left to Alex, who's found the first and the second as well. Alex has won it for his team from the emo spot, holding down the Krieg spray to make it work. We are going to wrap up that game. There we go. Turn your cam on. Let's see that beautiful face, Dean, as we swap on over, and we're headed into our last game of the night. What a turn of events from Movistar. After a slow start, they really bring it back and just keep that pressure on all the way through to the end of the half.
Yeah, I don't know. Team Spirit, an interesting day from them. I mean, they started off so well on both of the maps. 11-0 on map 1. They were able to just about close it out. They got up, what, 6-1 here? And in the end, they weren't able to close it out. I don't know. They're getting good leads. They should pretty easily be able to win these maps, and it's definitely something they need to look over. Closing out the game seems to be a bit of an issue for them. But yeah, I think we do have Prosto versus Crazy already started, so we'll probably have to try and swap over to that pretty soon if I'm right.
We are indeed going to do that, so we're going to take a very quick break here, run some adverts, and we will be right back with that Prosto Crazy game in just a flash, folks. So don't go anywhere. We will literally be right back.